Ladies and gentlemen, we're back with James with the Neurofeedback Healing Center, Zion Healing Center, as they call it. I was just playing with some of his machines, as you heard from our last episode. He has some really cool stuff here that helps people with addictions, insomnia, depression, ADHD, PTSD, and just people that are also healthy. It helps them optimize their brains.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, people like you that are into, I got the second guy today that's just, it's not just for people with problems, but anyone who wants to improve their brain. Like who doesn't?
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
somebody like you, you're pretty high functioning and I see all kinds of clients and I can tell, but I have other guys like you that are just wanting to biohack and really wanting to make the most of themselves.
That's the word, biohack? To hack your own brain?
Biohacking is kind of, that's
actually
that's
pretty
how
cool,
I found
bro.
out about neurofeedback is I follow people that are into biohacking and really finding these things, anything with health, supplements, meditation, any kind of mental training that can really change your mind.
Yeah, I definitely agree. One thing I really realized is like there's different ways of whether it's meditating or biohacking, because I found out that apparently there's different meditations that help with different brain things. Like there's focus where you keep your eyes open and you focus on a certain point, and apparently like every time you lose train of thought, you concentrate on it, and it's supposed to help your concentration. And there's one when you're meditating, like, guided meditation that's supposed to help you calm down.
Yeah.
But I feel like these different machines do that too.
Yeah, they do it in a different way. I feel like these machines help people who not everybody's good at meditating, and I hear people all the time that are in here and I'm like, have you ever tried meditation? Like, oh, no, I can't sit still, or I can't. Some people really, I think they really have a hard time with it. So these things will kind of take your brainwaves in there because your brainwaves will sync up to certain frequencies. Even our hearts do it. If there's certain rhythms that we can sync up with, we will. And you were just doing that on a theta frequency.
I was. That's funny. I could feel my brain. I could feel my heartbeat in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of strange though.
Yeah.
It was so.
What's
the last machine?
By the way, just to give you a preview of what's coming, I can't wait till we get biofeedback equipment to add. Neurofeedback is biofeedback, but it's only on the brain. We're ordering equipment now that will incorporate like what you did in a training session, but you could have your heart rate variability going into it. And then you can do like heart math type stuff where you can synchronize your heart rhythm with your brain. And if we were living in that way where our hearts are really aligned with our
You can have anything you want in the world, bro.
Yeah,
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so what was the machine I used last time?
Neurofeedback.
Okay, the neurofeedback machine. No. After that, where it helps you like sync your brain, like you take.
That was the audiovisual entrainment. Yeah, using that's using light to stimulate the brain using light and sound, using the phase of the sound with the right left.
Mm-hmm.
You have one on your right ear. They make they do these tones that are slightly off from each other, and the phase creates a pattern that your brain will sync up to.
Okay.
So if you don't know how to meditate, you don't know how to get into an alpha state like you, because I've seen you do it. But for somebody else who has trouble with that, it just kind of guides you into it. It makes it easy. And so if people kind of know, wow, that is what it feels like, you're going to want more of that because it's just so nice when your mind is functioning well.
Yeah, 100% it is. It's just like there's no fog and it clears things up. So anyways, after we did that, we did our first podcast. And then I went home and meditated for like an hour. And I had probably one of the best meditations I've ever had. Yeah. Because my brain was like, it was ready. I don't know, it was like connecting with each other.
Yeah.
And then I was able to go just very, very deep, deeper than I usually go. And like I just felt like my heart opened up, and it just felt really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was, dude. Like it made my eyes watery because like something happens when like you're in deep meditation. Yeah. You have this, you're in a state of calmness and love.
Yeah.
So I just felt very happy and euphoric. It just made me cry a little bit, bro. Tell you the truth. Like I'm not ashamed to say it. Like
I'm not ashamed either.
It wasn't like something sad happened to me.
Right.
It was just like joy and love.
Yeah.
Like pure joy, bro.
Yeah.
It was like.
That's a good example of somebody who, you've already you've been working on yourself doing mental training, so you can really unlock additional potential. Like I love hearing about that, your experience of, for other people, they're just wanting to get rid of their depression. To be honest, most people aren't self-aware enough to come in here to be like, hey, I'm already doing pretty good. I'm pretty healthy, but how much better could I be? Most people are just like, I'm in so much pain. Now I have to do something.
Infinite possibilities, bro. Remember I told you I was Joe Dispenza's retreat?
Yeah.
And I met that guy with stage 4 cancer.
Yeah.
And he was able to just get rid of his cancer within weeks.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, dude, I could do anything.
The mind is so powerful.
Yeah, but he wanted it more than me, bro, because he had health issues.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to be healthy.
Yeah.
So that's just like, it's fight or flight, he just wanted that more.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could be healthy, dude. I could do way more than that, bro.
Yeah. The crazy thing is we're made up of electrochemical signals. Like it's electrochemical. So you think, using the electricity of our brain and the frequencies, we're modulating that with neurofeedback. But if we can get the neurons operating in a healthy way, if they fire, like for example, a neuron that's in the brain that might, when it fires, it releases serotonin. Well, if that's underactive, you're going to be missing out on serotonin. So you're going to be trying to take some pill to improve your serotonin with a serotonin reuptake inhibitor. When you can just get the neuron firing straight up, like just deal with the problem directly, why do you have to take a medicine into your whole bloodstream to accomplish the same thing that you can do with direct brain training?
And you told me you're at a EEG conference last weekend.
Yeah.
And you met all these scientists that are like just neuroscientists, like legit
Yeah.
professors and doctors, and they're against medication.
Yeah, most medications.
Most
Yeah.
medications, they're kind of against that.
Yeah.
I feel like, because I studied to become a psychiatrist,
Mhm.
and I dropped out, because I feel like the pills are kind of like a crutch. So if
Yeah.
someone has a broken foot, like depression,
Yeah.
you don't just give them a stick and say, walk it off. You literally want to heal them.
Yeah.
So I feel like the pills were just more like a crutch.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like the pills for me just made it worse than the depression was to start with in some
Really?
ways. I mean, by the time it's like I got this, when I started, because I went through this and I thought, my grandmother told me, you know what, get on an antidepressant. I'm on Prozac, best thing I ever took, And so I thought, okay. And so I went and talked to my doctor and I was like, depression runs in our family. This makes sense. My grandmother's on it. This will work for me too. I started taking it and it did work. I was like, I know what she's talking about now. Things would happen. It was like I had this clear force field around me where a problem that used to upset me, I would see the problem, but it would just kind of like bounce off the thing, off my little shield. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. The problems are there, but I don't feel attached to it. And it was a cool breakthrough, at first, but then it's like, that was the best result I ever got from it. And I stayed on it for a few weeks and I thought, this is cool. And for some reason, I can't remember why, but I either ran out or I missed a prescription or something. And at some point, I missed a few doses and I think I just stopped taking it. And I was like, well, my depression's okay. Let's see how I do without it. I kind of adjusted and then I fell back into a depressive episode again. But for some reason, the second time I took the exact same medicine, it just didn't work for me the same. I have no idea why. The same medicine, but like it felt like it worked the first time, but it's diminishing returns. And what I hear from everybody is I took something, it was working at first, but now I'm taking like 6 things and I'm a mess. The doctors kept adding things to it as the diminishing returns continue to diminish. It's almost like whatever you first take, if you first take medicine, whatever result you get is probably going to be the best you could ever expect from that. Because in those STAR-D trials, FDA approved trials, biggest trials ever on depression and treatment, your chances go down each time you make a new attempt with medication. Your chances are going down that you're actually going to get remission, even though they only start at 27%. It's not that great even to start with, but it's down by the 4th time. You're down to like 7%.
Really?
So a doctor's writing a prescription. Hey, good luck. 7% chance. I'll see you in 6 weeks. And it's just
shit.
like, but that's why I always compare us, and I'm like, we actually care because we're going to have to hear from them after they had that bad day. They're coming back to us the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, not
So
6
it's
weeks.
a different level of treatment.
Talk to my nurse. Talk to my nurse practitioner.
Yeah.
I know
Schedule
what
an
you mean, bro.
appointment. We're like 2 months out. Anyway, it's
Or you could drop some LSD and see what happens.
Hey,
Hey, apparently you were telling me it's not that bad, huh? Like there's some scientists.
Okay.
Well,
let's
some
not
scientists. No, you're telling me that you heard from someone else
Mhm.
that it doesn't have the bad side effects that
Yeah.
we were taught that it was supposed to have back in the
Yeah.
50s and
Well,
60s.
with LSD, they were telling people. I mean, and these guys were. What was it? Somebody asked a question, and one of the doctors was like, "I have a patient that's wanting to try psilocybin or something. What do you think?" And these neuroscientists said, "There's a great documentary out on Netflix. It's called How to Change Your Mind.
I'm gonna
Go
watch it, bro.
They said it's very scientific. The data's solid, and basically we were lied to. It wasn't like the doctors and scientists shut down the research on those medications because they were having breakthroughs. Like the guy that founded Alcoholics Anonymous, did you know he had done LSD
He did?
to get? Oh yeah, look it up. The original guy that founded Alcoholics Anonymous.
Wait,
AA.
so was he an alcoholic and he did LSD, or he just stopped alcohol
he
and
somehow
he did it?
I need to get this. We should all look it up together. But but he, from what I understand, he used LSD that led to his recovery. Then he somehow came up with the 12 steps that he founded.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That does make sense. Yeah.
But so they were talking about, they said, go watch this movie, but really, psilocybin, I can't say, I mean, LSD is a chemical. I'm not a doctor, obviously. I can't say what could be recommended, but they did say, they used to tell us that it would change your DNA. It's going to mess you up for life. You'll never be the same. You're going to go think you can fly and jump off a building and kill yours. I mean, so they just put fear into people, and then the government was the one that stopped it. It wasn't the scientists. It was not the doctors that wanted to. They were getting good results. They wanted to continue, but the government took it and they started doing what, MK Ultra.
MK Ultra.
And,
Yeah.
So they used LSD in a whole different way and said, no, this is dangerous. We're just going to use it to be dangerous with it. Yeah, I don't know. That's
Just to experiment on people.
Yeah.
And they had stranger things happen.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. That's a show. But so apparently the guy that was using MK Ultra was using LSD for MK Ultra, they were experimenting on people against their will or against their knowledge.
Right.
So when they stopped, this guy was feeling for it. He's like, how do I get this feeling back? So he experimented with a bunch of things, because even the CIA took that away from him, because they're like, this is completely illegal and unethical. So what he did is he figured out breathing exercises can help you get the same chemical release. It's called holotropic breathing.
Oh, yeah.
So where you lay down, someone guides you for 3 hours, you're like
3 hours. 3
Yeah.
hours of breath work.
from your diaphragm. And apparently, like when you get tired and stuff, the person that's guiding is like, keep going, you can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then after about an hour and a half, you have a full blown fucking trip. Like
Dude, I did that
mystical
in
experience.
45 minutes. I mean, I was like in a 1 hour breath work session when I was in Europe with with the Mind Valley group at AFest, and I had an experience like that. It took about 45 minutes, but they were like pushing you the whole time. Like, if you really want, like, how bad do you want your healing? They're like pushing you. They're just like, when you think you can't go harder, you just need to go harder. It's like,
Wow.
but it was intense. And then, but I'm telling you, all of a sudden, like, I felt like I was transported to a new place and had angels around me. And I was
Really?
like, yeah. It was
So you had a full blown
tripping.
experience.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
felt like I had an initiation. I can't describe it any other way than I was just like, they're doing something to me. What's happening? It was just those kind of mystical experiences are hard to explain into words. I struggle with that. It was awesome though.
and everyone has their own. Or if
Yeah,
you do
they're
have
really
experience.
personal and they're symbolic. They come from your unconscious mind, and it's
But the
yeah.
main point is you didn't take any drugs to get there. It was
no,
just
it's
straight
like
out
I took
breathing.
oxygen. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
you took-
oxygen
yeah,
was the
Yeah, because your brain releases those chemicals.
Yeah, I felt emotions coming up all of a sudden. I mean, it was like, all of a sudden, 1 second I'm angry because they're pushing us hard, and then it's like I'm grateful just to be here. But it was like this flood of emotions, one after the other, that just started coming up to be released. It was
I wish you
wild.
had the neurofeedback machine on when you were doing it. What would happen?
No, they do. They have
They do?
protocols. So these neuroscientists, like, they're experimenting with everything. But yeah, they had protocols specifically. It's like, and then here's a brain map of someone when they do breath work. It was like basically, they said basically you're going to have the client hyperventilate while they're on the equipment and do this. And I can't remember the details, but they check into everything. These guys were, they were telling us don't drink water out of plastic bottles because it has neurotoxins in it. I mean, they're really like down to sensitivity. They're talking about the air pollution and how we need to do our best to, just do whatever we can to detoxify because our environment's full of toxins and they're neurotoxic, a lot of them.
Neurotoxin
Even they were
means
warning
it
us
affects your
about to be-
neurotransmitters and affects your brain
Yeah.
and the way you think. Is what
Yeah.
you mean.
And if you're going to take a chemical that affects your neurology, you should know what you're doing, and it really might want to be the last resort. But people are so willing to just go out and, it's doctor's orders, and doctors are just trained to do what they do too. They follow the crowd of, when one main doctor that everyone respects says, hey, there was a study that showed this, nobody else reads the study. All the doctors just quote the one doctor that said that he read the study. Have you ever heard that? Like, sometimes they'll go back and they'll be like, wait, we were all going off of his study that he quoted to us, but no one had checked the study, and they found out the study didn't even say what the doctor said it was.
Wow.
So they're going along with the crowd too, and everybody is just doing their best, I think. Doctors, it's not like there's anything wrong with medication, but I really think with what we're learning about how sensitive our neurology is, when you're taking something that affects that neurology or your hormones, you got to be really careful with that stuff.
Well, let's be honest, bro. It's not really working. I'll just be frank.
Well, yeah,
It's not. That's the problem, bro.
Yeah.
If it was working and everyone was happy, we'll be doped up on drugs.
no, my clinic wouldn't be full of people if it was working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that I'm going to approve for just exploring
Yeah.
and seeing what's going on.
I'm so
But there's a
jealous.
lot of
It's
people.
so cool.
Yeah. But you've been there.
Yeah, that's why
There's a
I'm
lot of
jealous.
people that just go there because they just want to do ayahuasca, bro. They're
Yeah.
desperate for something.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want to live in depression.
Yeah.
There's even a movie called The Last Shaman on Netflix. I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen it.
I
I
haven't.
think you would love it, bro.
Yeah.
So it's about a
Last
college kid. His parents are very wealthy and they're very successful.
Uh-huh.
His dad works in the pharmaceutical business, was psychiatrist,
Yeah.
rich guy.
Mhm.
Mom is rich. This guy kid has so much pressure to be more successful than him that he cracks, bro. He ends up in depression. They put him in a mental ward.
Yeah.
And like they do all these type of medications. It's not helping him at all. He's like, I feel like a zombie.
Yeah.
And then they do electroshock therapy. And then he's like, I don't want this. I don't want this. So he runs away from the mental ward. Somehow he gets to Peru, and he's on a quest to get healthy.
Mhm.
And he's in manic depression.
Mhm.
So he meets these shamans that are fake shamans that just want to take his money. And then finally he goes into the heart of the jungle of Peru. And he finds a shaman and he hangs out with that shaman for like 5 months. And he does a couple ayahuasca trips. And he finally gets better, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but it's like a college kid. It's his journey. It's beautiful, bro.
Wow.
But he,
Well, that's what these scientists were saying. They were saying, don't kid yourself. They said if you have a client or somebody who's really stuck in a way of being and they just have repeated this pattern for so long that they can't see the forest for the tree, like they're inside their own box. I don't know if you know people like this, but for breaking somebody out of, like, showing them that there's more than just their little way of seeing things that's making them miserable. Sometimes people don't even see that the whole little box they constructed around themselves out of fear to protect them is keeping them shielded out from life. You know,
yeah,
you're really missing out on life because you're just so afraid something, but you're just limiting yourself so much. And anyway, there could be anything. It could be somebody stuck into addiction and they're not breaking it. But for someone to break the pattern, they said this will free up that neuroplasticity. It will
when you mean
create
this, you
new
mean like
collections, psychedelics.
psychedelics.
Yeah, they just said the data's there. I mean, it's like
They will, bro.
nobody's trying to be political anymore. You know, it's just like we're just scientists. We're just telling you what the data shows. You know, that we're not trying to legalize drugs or anything. This is just the facts. You know, the
Yeah.
history. It wasn't the scientists that wanted to stop the research. The government made them, and I think that they were. I don't know. I don't think that pharmaceutical companies honestly want us cured of anything.
Of course not, bro. They
If
want
they
you on
can-
a hook.
They want you on the hook and they want a lifetime customer. Why not? If I could imagine having a business that you could mandate somebody to take your medicine for the rest of their lives, once a month, once a year. Maybe it's a mandatory vaccine. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's terrible, bro, because you're making money off of the pain and suffering of others.
Yeah.
And you're not help. It's not that only you're not helping them, bro. You're making
hurting
it worse. You're
Yeah.
hurting them, and you're
Yeah.
making money off of them.
People don't do their own research. They don't go check out medicines before they get it. The doctor says, even though they say the side effects, oh, but it's a small chance that, I mean, sometimes the side effects of an antidepressant, how is it possible that the side effect is suicide for an antidepressant?
Because it sets off your chemical imbalance, bro. That's
Yeah.
what it does.
Yeah.
It just sets it off.
Yeah.
When it just sets it off. But
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't want too much serotonin. That can create schizophrenia. You know,
that can.
you have too little serotonin. Okay, you're depressed. Too much is schizophrenia. Yeah, we want our minds just functioning balanced.
But what
We want
pisses me
healthy-
off, I'm just gonna get on COVID, bro, because I'm
let's
not
go.
vaccinated.
Yeah,
And
well, me too.
Yeah, I went to one of my doctors, and apparently there was a problem, and they're like, "Oh, we're having a problem with your paperwork." I'm like, "What's wrong?" They're like, "Oh, we can't find any of your vaccines or any
Mhm.
of your COVID shots." I'm like, "'Cause I don't have any." And they're like, "Why? Why didn't you get any? What's wrong?" I was like, "There's nothing wrong." I'm like, "I'm just healthy. I exercise. I eat healthy.
Yeah.
I get a lot of sunshine." And they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe you should still get vaccinated." I'm like, "Why?"
Why-
I'm like,
yeah.
I literally took a blood test, and my blood test was like perfect. And I took a blood pressure, and they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, you're really good. You're healthy.
yeah,
Like you just stay healthy."
yeah.
I'm
I
like,
wa-
"But why? Why do I need to take it?"
Yeah. I was in South Africa doing this blood treatment where they were basically running my blood through this machine, doing a live blood analysis, like, with a specialist that I saw.
Is that when they separate the T cells and the white cells from the red cells? It's like they do it really
No, they
fast,
don't. They
right?
don't spin it. On this one, it's going through a big filter, and this what he does, he just takes samples and puts them on a microscope and really goes through them and just looks for patterns in the blood. But he was looking at. He said, "Look at this is an immune response right here," and he's like, "You have a really robust immune system," and I sat there and I thought. Other people don't do this kind of work. Like I really take a lot of extra steps for my health so that I can be healthy and so that I have a healthy immune system. So I was like, why am I taking advice from people? They don't live how I live. Like
Yeah.
they don't take the step. They're not going to see a blood doctor in South Africa that that can tell me that I have an immune system or whatever. But, I just thought as I'm taking I do this all the time. Like people are trying to mandate people to be vaccinated as if it's one size fits all. They're not taking the multivitamins that I am. They're not taking their minerals. They're not. I mean, we're not on the same level. Like I hate to say it, but
But what bothers me is they don't say the other things like, "Hey, you know what? If you go out for like 10 minutes a day and walk under the sun, you'll feel better.
Yeah.
You'll get some vitamin C, vitamin D, and you'll just be more generally happier. And if you exercise 3 times a week, you'll be better. Or if you just clean up your diet a little bit, your immune system will get better and it'll fight off whatever disease comes your way. They don't say that, but they say take the shot.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I was onto this like before COVID happened. I had a group of people that I followed for health advice, and they were already against the grain of doctors, and they were the next level. They're into peak performance. They're into reducing chemicals and everything. So, and they were into dispelling the myths. Like there's just so many myths out there that are not true that people believe still about medicine. So they're, teaching these things. But I had a group that I trusted, and I was on to the pharmaceutical companies. I knew that they do not have our best interest in mind. They want us to take something for the rest of their lives because I had an opiate addiction, and this started out with a skiing accident that I had when I was 21 or something. They gave me Percocet. And I just thought, this was great. At the time, I was religious and I wasn't drinking alcohol. So I thought it was great. Oh, man, these pills and these are okay for me. I'm not even doing a sin, and I can feel like this. And anyway, and I end up, thinking these are great. But I had an addiction several years later when I started abusing pain medicine to deal with a marriage that I was in that wasn't working out. And I just didn't have resources to handle things myself. So I started to self-medicate. But when I went to try to get help, all of a sudden at some point I realized, wow, I thought I was such a strong person, but I'm legitimately addicted to this. I need help.
At least you asked for help, Bo.
Yeah, I mean, I was at least self-aware to know that I couldn't do it on my own anymore, and because I tried a few times, that's how I knew. And then, but the American doctors just said you're going to be on Suboxone or methadone for the rest of your life. Most likely, you need to stop taking the opiate, and we're going to give you a longer acting opiate that's more addictive than the first one, but it won't get you high. So it just doesn't even make sense to me because I'm like, so I'm going to feel nothing but be more addicted to something I can't feel, right? Unless I don't take it, then you'll feel it. Then you'll feel horrible. So anyway, but that's the American standard of care treatment for opiate addiction. So I went to Mexico to see Johnny the Healer at the Holistic Sanctuary, where they did Ibogaine Therapy, and I cured myself because that was they said you don't have to go on a maintenance drug. You can, there's this ancient root that they've been using to heal people for years, like these ancient tribes from Africa have used this religiously.
So you went to Mexico and you did Ibogaine.
Yeah.
And you were just cured like this.
Yeah. When I started doing my own research, I figured out how to do research, and I don't go to the standard. I find out what all is there, and then I talk to people who have done it, and and I found out, I was like, this works better than what we're offering in America, but it's illegal. Well, why is it illegal? Anyway, when I was at the Holistic Sanctuary, the guy's like, I can't operate this business in America, even though so many Americans are addicted to opiates, but we have to bring them in through LA and across the border and into Mexico
so we can
heal them. Yeah.
I
was in, I think,
Rosarito.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. That's close enough.
Yeah.
He
put us on, he was just recommending, he was a recovering addict. He had healed himself with meditation. So he had us, doing hyperbaric chambers, infrared saunas.
How long were you there?
2 weeks.
2 weeks. And you were fine after that?
No, I wasn't fine for another 6 months because my body was so messed up from those chemicals. My hormones were out of whack.
But
I went through a divorce after that because I could deal with my emotions using the drugs, but then after that I had low resources, and so emotions would come out and I'd have outbursts, and I really realized I needed help after I got off the opiates, and it was like, well, now I'm without my drug addiction, but I'm messed up, it was really clear to me something's wrong with me. It's been wrong with me all my life. Now I'm dealing with it with drugs. I just need to fix the core. And I kind of, at that point when you're in enough pain, you'll do what it takes to be like, I just need to actually do this, and we can't fake it anymore.
But I think it's good that you had to hit rock bottom to come up, bro. Because I think you're doing great now.
Yeah, I am I've been really blessed.
That's what happens to some people. It's called awakening. Yeah. When you hit rock bottom, and then you come back up. But now you're able to
use your pain. Really, if you use your pain in life to be like, what can I learn from this? Like, how can I, use this to bless other people or something? That's a lot of people that are in this healing modalities that are helping other people heal. It's because they've been through, and that's who I want to follow, is somebody who's walked the path in front of me and who's still walking it. I hope, but just further ahead than I am.
Joe Dispenza of the United States.
No, I am going to see him to Cancun.
Let me ask you before we get there, if you could go back and have the same pain, because I'm sure it was very painful emotionally, would you erase that from your memory?
The pain?
Yeah.
No, because I learned so much.
Good answer, bro. Good answer. Yeah,
then,
that's what I was looking for, because you learned so much.
Yeah.
It made you a better person, right?
yeah,
And now you want to help other people.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm at cause for it. Like I know that I created the situations that led me to my life. It doesn't mean that I wasn't a victim, but I don't see myself as a victim because you just don't heal from a place of
Yeah.
victimhood. I mean, a lot of people are just like, well, I have this addiction because of her, or something.
Yeah, that's victim mentality, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it's really hard to help people like that if they're just like, if they're sitting there and you're like, hey, so how can I help you? What do you want? And they're like, I want my wife to stop acting like this. I want my kids to be better. And you just realize this person's not going to get any help. They're not at cause. They think that the reason they're miserable is because of the outside, and it's not like that.
And
It
you
comes
just
from the inside.
those people need to have some LSD trips. I mean,
Maybe
it helps, bro.
yeah, it's like
It
and
helps.
those. Well, the thing about those medications, these guys were saying they're not addictive, so you don't run that risk of addiction with it. It's not the kind of thing that you're just gonna. I mean, yeah, it might be it's a fantastic experience, right? And it's
For
but
some
it's not
people.
the kind of or it can be horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be painful.
But
And it's like
I've gotten from for like ayahuasca and other psychedelic experiences, they're like, bro, this is not pleasant. Like, it's not like me and my friends are
no.
gonna get my friends and I are not gonna get together and do this stuff for fun, bro. It's not recreational.
no, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
not the same like that. You don't just like take it and have fun together. That in that way, it is fun to heal yourself if that's your intention.
Yeah, that's why people keep asking me when I say I'm going to Peru, like, oh, you didn't do ayahuasca? I'm like, no, bro.
That's what I thought
I'm like,
too.
I don't want to do
I
it.
even
Like,
just
I don't need
assumed
it.
it. I was like, oh, dude, you're gonna love ayahuasca.
Yeah, I'm like, I want to
Congratulations.
sit through it and see what happens to other
Yeah.
people, but I don't feel like I need it.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
someone else could use it more than me.
Yeah, but they'll have plenty, dude. They're gonna have a full picture. They're gonna have a.
But I feel like someone told me, like, be careful because you might get the energy from other people, and you might have your own little high.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. You're going to be meditating. You know how to achieve these states. You're going to be in that energy. I would just be meditating the whole time. if I was
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Can you tell me the story, dude? That so we were talking earlier, me and James, and he just started crying because he told me about how he helped some
You're
patient
going to make me cry.
that no, don't. But
No.
he helped some patient that
Do my
had
best.
like a stutter, and she was very shy.
She did not have a stutter. Let me
Wait, she didn't have a stutter, or she
no,
just
but
had a
she
hard
had
time
autism.
talking? Oh, she had
She was on
autism.
the autism spectrum. Yeah, what she had was panic attacks from anxiety. She was so this is somebody really and by the way, I would not have recommended psychedelics to her in this case. It's not for everybody, right? But she's very sensitive. But she was very sensitive, afraid of everything. And everything in her day had to happen in a certain way.
Do you think she had Asperger's? It sounds like Asperger's. That's in the spectrum
I
too.
wouldn't even diagnose it. Yeah, I mean, I could see on the scans that she had the autism spectrum biomarkers, and but she was the sweetest person. Like I'd never seen somebody. I mean, the treatments are not,
Tell me how you helped her. Tell me how you helped her, though.
Okay, well, neurofeedback is how we helped her.
The
and
neurofeedback machine that I did last week.
Yeah. The neurofeedback, that's the brain training where you're watching, you can see your brain activity live in real time and get feedback. And this is the only way, because if not, you're trying to like judge it, like listening to a thought, noticing how it makes you feel, but it happens before that. Like by the time you consciously process it, it's already over. So to get feedback on your brain in real time and then to get rewards that encourage you to go towards healthy functioning states, after doing that a certain amount of time, you're just building that muscle up in your brain that's, building flexibility. So the first thing that she said that was like, just warmed my heart was that first thing she noticed, people are like, yeah, I'm just really feeling better. It's so subtle. You have to be like, you noticed it, but you're pretty self-aware. I talked to some people that's like, I didn't feel any different after the neurofeedback. And I say, well, I watched your brainwave change. I saw that it was different at the end. That's interesting that you didn't notice it though. And I just think like, okay, but she was noticing that she felt better, but it was kind of like, yeah, I don't know, I'm having some good days, but there's like one thing that would happen at family dinner, and if this thing ever happened, we all have the triggers, right? Something happened, the wrong person looks at you a certain way or says the wrong thing, you go into a certain state. Every time that this happened, she would have to go into sensory deprivation for a few hours and really just be
That
by
bad?
herself to come down from the anxiety. It was she couldn't recover. Like once she'd been triggered, it stayed like that. So she would go no sight, no sound. Anyway, this time she noticed that she got triggered. She had that moment of clarity right before. She's like, I don't want to let this ruin my dinner today, And she made the choice to say, I think I could actually handle this, okay? And then she found that she could.
Wow.
And she didn't leave the dinner, and she enjoyed her time with the family. And that was the first time that had ever happened. That was
Ever.
like, yeah,
and versus her having to go to sensory deprivation tank for hours, bro. That's extreme.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Like you would
It's
say, oh, let me go outside and cool down.
she was singing today when she was here. She was like singing, showing us our song that she's going to be performing in a play or
Awesome, bro.
something. I mean, she's expanding her mind, and she's able to. She just is. Yeah, we love her smile. She's almost complete with the program, but to see somebody's transformation of how they even look and feel from the time they come in to the time that they're leaving, even within a month, you can already see it. But I mean, these people are shining by the time they leave.
Awesome.
It's really rewarding.
That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna try it, bro. I recommend it for other people. One thing I just remembered right now, I went to go see a lady last week that does guided drum.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a meditation. It's more like a psychedelic experience, or just I don't know. It was just a drum right by
It's
my
like
head.
tribal,
Yeah.
it's just drumming. That's what they
Yeah.
call it. Just drumming.
It's
yeah.
like guided drumming experience
Yeah.
to find your like either animal or just like your chi. Anyways,
love
bro,
those
I was
things.
hearing noises. She was doing it. Yeah, she was just doing it for 20 minutes right by my head,
Yeah.
dude. And I started hearing noises,
Yeah.
and then me and her were talking, and I was like, "Hey, would you be open to coming to my friend's place? We strap on the Neuro machine and we
Mhm.
do the drumming and see what happens
Oh yeah.
to your brain."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Totally." So I just
Wow,
wanted,
okay.
yeah, maybe we could like set that up one of these days and see what
Yeah.
happens.
These neurologists love doing experiments like that and just seeing how things affect your brain because that's one of the most interesting things. You can just get the readout right there on the screen.
But I started hearing noises, dude,
Yeah.
like that, like just different noises, like
Yeah.
like I was in the jungle noises.
Yeah.
But I didn't even leave. I wasn't on any drugs, no
Yeah.
stimulants, nothing.
Yeah.
But so I want to see what that does to your brain. She says you go into theta state,
Okay.
like deep relaxation.
Yeah.
But I want to see it on the screen.
I wonder if they're able. I mean, just as I'm thinking, I'm like, if she beats that drum at a theta frequency, why would your brain not sync up to that rhythm? And I mean, if they know what they're doing,
Yeah, I think it did.
there's a million things that work, bro. Like, there's so many things. People can do things from home for free to cure their depression. Things like you're doing. I mean, you are already in good shape, but
Yeah.
if you take care of your mind, it will take care of you.
I don't remember the last time I've ever been sad, bro.
Really?
Like probably years ago.
Yeah.
Like I generally don't remember being sad.
Wow. Well, that's
Yeah.
a blessing because a lot of people do not have that. I can tell you.
Yeah, but I'm also thankful, like, because I talk to people that are sick on a daily basis,
Mhm.
and my problems are nothing compared to this. I don't even have problems, to tell you the truth, which I'm blessed.
Yeah.
But that's how I want to live my life. Like I don't have like need debt. I have a basic car.
Yeah.
But it's just having the simple things just makes me more happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have an ego, but I feel like when you meditate, the space around your ego grows. So there's more room for love,
Yeah.
compassion, patience, wisdom. But yeah, like I just don't remember
reminded me,
being
they're
sad.
gonna have you smoke the toad when you're in Peru. Have you heard of that one?
The toad, yeah, that's a DMT
5 MEO.
5 MEO DMT, bro.
DMT.
Apparently, but for someone that's never done drugs, that's like the most
No, that's
extreme
the
thing
most
you
extreme.
could
Yeah, yeah. When I went to Peru, that was the activity that I opted out of. I was kind of
Yeah.
like, I'm doing good enough with these ayahuasca journeys. I don't need to smoke the toad.
do. So what it is, ladies and gentlemen, there's these toads that also live in Mexico and
Yeah.
Peru in the desert, and they have like these blisters on their back.
Mhm.
So they come out of the ground sometimes when it rains,
Mhm.
and then they get these toads. They pop it, and then that pus is like this really crazy poison. That's also this hyper psychedelic substance, and you take it, and apparently you're just in a different dimension.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they were telling us they safely extract them from the frog. It doesn't hurt the frog, but they're able to use the venom or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the legit poison,
They
bro.
smoke it.
Yeah, you smoke it or you drop it. So
Yeah.
here's the funny thing: when I was at Joe Dispenza's meditation retreat,
Mhm.
there's some people that only did that, and they were able to do their full-on Kundalini breath, and like tap into source. Like when you get your energy and you harness it from your head to your
Yeah.
chakras.
Well, I've heard if you want to become one with source, that's the way.
Yeah, but those people were able to do it easily.
Oh, without the drug. Wait, so they
Well,
just did it through meditation?
They did it through meditation, but here's the
Oh,
thing:
okay.
they've done the drug before,
Yeah.
so they've
okay.
been to the same place.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
okay.
don't have a roadmap how to get back,
Right.
but now that they were able to do it
Yeah.
consciously or unconsciously, they were there.
Yeah.
So these people were like this.
Well, you
dude.
know that our brain makes DMT.
Yeah,
right?
when you
That's
die.
the active. Well, no, I mean it makes it in the pineal gland when we're alive, and yeah. So
That's why when you do that holotropic breathing, like
yeah,
you did,
it releases.
technically you're doing drugs, bro. Your brain was making drugs. You weren't
Yeah.
doing drugs.
Yeah, it's
Um,
natural.
But if you take a piss test, you're gonna pass because you didn't really take anything in. You didn't
Yeah.
take any substances.
It's funny though that they made they tried to sort of make DMT illegal, even though they can't because it's in so many plants, even that we eat. They'd have to outlaw half the trees.
Isn't it illegal though?
It's illegal in the chemical compound. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's just funny that they make something illegal that is already in us.
But that there's a lot of people that have done it that have told me crazy stories. First, apparently, it only lasts like 10, 15 minutes.
Smoking DMT
Yeah,
or
smoking it.
5-MeO,
No, it's just the regular
the
DMT.
normal DMT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I know, but apparently, if you want to see behind the veil, which is another term of if you want to see it with your third eye,
Yeah.
that'll get you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a slingshot, right? I'm just like, if you do ayahuasca, it's kind of like you just get the slow journey into it, so you kind of process it. But if you're gonna smoke DMT and be like Joe Rogan, then you're just taking the slingshot into the.
The way he describes it is like a jump on the rocket and just fly off.
Yeah.
But apparently, when someone, let's go back to when someone's trapped in their own little circle or their square, and they have to do everything a certain way, you give them that complete, the circle's gone, bro.
Yeah, it just breaks up their whole like model of the. Everybody has this model of the world about how things are in their mind, and remember that your mind is always going to prove you right. So whatever you believe, your mind will be looking for evidence. Like, yes, you're right. It's
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
No,
I just had an
continue.
interruption. Sorry.
Nah, it's okay. Continue. Your mind is gonna find a pattern or something to justify your thoughts.
Yeah, true. Sorry, I was looking at the janitor. We had a knock on the
No
door. I'm
problem,
sorry,
dude.
dude. I totally lost the train of thought.
No problem. Okay, so what else do you think people to do to better themselves? Because you said there's so many different ways people could just help themselves at home.
Well, it's like people think that just to exercise, we overcomplicate things. We're like, oh, then I'm gonna have to buy workout clothes and go to the gym. It's like, no, dude, just get out your door and run
Or walk.
That's free. Yeah, walk to start out with.
Yeah.
Just start it. I mean, do something. But what I see most people doing is just drowning with the daily things that consume their schedule and what they have to do, and most people just don't take action until they're in pain. But I'm just saying, take action to care for your mind, not to avoid pain, but to gain the pleasure, to gain the enlightenment and to gain the learning and the knowledge that you get through just meditation, just sitting there to observe yourself and to sit with your thoughts and to process, like, where am I even at? Like, how am I sitting today? Emotionally.
But people are
what's going on
scared to
inside?
do that, bro.
Yeah.
People are legitimately scared to do that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're scared. Yeah, but like what? I mean, and I think, well, or they just say they don't have time, which is the craziest thing ever. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, well, you'll make time if you're, I mean, I just see too many people that are like, well, now I have to make time. Now I literally can't work because my mental health is too bad, and now they're taking leave from work to get mental health treatment. We have to provide notes from doctors, and so it's like, do that to take care of yourself before you avoid pain. But just like you are, for the purpose of enlightenment, everybody can improve their mind. Just because you don't have to wait till you're suffering with a divorce or a major crisis or life's hitting you or an addiction like I had or something, but the sad truth is that most of us are more motivated by pain, by avoiding pain, than by gaining pleasure.
Yeah, it's curiosity.
But to answer your question, so what we could do is meditating. We could go outside and run. We could go sit in the sun and get some, if you don't have a photobiomodulation device, because I don't know what you do in the winter if you're here in Utah. You come into Zion Healing Center and do the photobiome. But, at least now while it's summer, get outside when you can. Try to get our eyes off of screens, and onto nature a little bit more. Those really, those produce the theta waves and the relaxing things that we want. You don't have to get on a neurofeedback machine. You can go into the mountains and hike.
Yeah. There's studies done when people take off their shoes and go into ground, or like in just grass. Your heartbeat drops. Like that just literally means you're calmer.
Okay.
And you just feel better.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's things like self-hypnosis. Hypnosis is great. There's coaching. You can talk with somebody who actually knows how to guide you, because getting an outside perspective is good.
Even if you don't know anyone that is a professional, if you just talk to a friend, that helps too, bro.
That's human communication, realizing, the needs. You could look up, I love the training that Tony Robbins gives on our 6 basic human needs that everybody has, and we're all finding ways to meet them. Some of us are meeting them in less effective ways, but it's like getting to really know yourself and know what makes you happy and what you're good at, and being just honest with yourself. I think going on the journey of self-discovery is what we should all be on, the path of personal development. Like, read a good book.
Yeah.
Read a book. That's it. Like, you could get a book for $10 or whatever on Audible.
You can get it for free, bro.
You can listen to it in the car as you're driving to work. People don't have time to read books, but I'm telling you to make time to take care of yourself, because you are important.
You are. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Treat yourself like someone you love, because you should.
Yeah. I think you should put yourself ahead of other people, bro. You
I
should
think you
always
should. Yeah, I mean,
you should
yeah.
always help other people, but you have to take care of yourself first.
But there's this guilt, right? Like, oh, you're being selfish because you need to take time for yourself.
I told that guilt to shut up, bro.
Well, yeah.
Because I used to help other people. I'm like, dude, now I'm getting shafted.
Yeah.
But now it's like when something happens, I always think of myself first, and then I help other people. Me personally, I don't need much. But once my basic needs are met, I will be more than happy to help anyone I can.
Yeah. Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah. But I mean, even when they're not met, the other week I was having good results on the neurofeedback. I think I told you about this, dealing with my insomnia. Got a new business running. I love it. I'm stoked all day long being with people. But I think it just raises my, my excitement is like registering as anxiety. It's basically the same thing. I love feeling excited. I hate being anxious. But anyways, it making me have trouble sleeping. So I was doing neurofeedback. My sleep was improving. Then Chelsea, my coworker, took time off, and we had to. The equipment broke, and I was getting anyway, got stressful. I thought I need to take care of the clients. I'm okay myself. I don't need this as bad as they do. And I kind of rationalized it like so I put my treatment to the side, and then the insomnia just came back. I was already starting to sleep better, but it got worse. And then I just like realized once it got so bad that I was laying awake for about 3 hours in the middle of the night, I thought, if I keep doing this, what am I going to have for the clients? I'm not going to be there at the center because I'm going to be in bed or in the hospital. Like, if you're not getting sleep, your mental health is suffering. So we have to prioritize ourselves. But that was an example. Like, until I was in pain again, I didn't take action because I'm making the excuse, well, everyone else needs it more than me. But we got to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. Then you can help more people that way.
Yeah.
It's just like on the more extreme side. Let's say you're in an airplane and there's a lot of turbulence. Dude, you know those air things that drop from the top?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you going to do first, bro? Put yours on.
Supposed
and
to.
breathe.
Yeah.
And then turn around and help the people around you. You're not going to help everyone else and then you pass out.
Yeah.
Put it on, help yourself, and then turn around and help everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way.
There's been so many people when I tell them, like, if I've been in a coaching situation or something, and I just say, it just seems like you've been doing things for other people for so long, trying to be what you should be. And when was the last time you took time to take care of yourself? And people just break into tears. Because it just hits them. Sometimes you need a coach to show you things that you don't see, blind spots. But yeah, human connection, just having somebody to talk to, having friends, not isolating yourself, having a way to deal with emotions. You know, people are stuffing emotions down. They don't go away. Like, we have to process these things.
Yeah.
In healthy ways.
I agree, brother. In healthy ways. Just and I think bottom line is just don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know how to do it, bro. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe they could watch videos and stuff, but if you see someone's a semi-professional, or family, friends, just ask for help, bro. There's no shame in that. No shame in that.
A lot of the most successful and famous people, like you wouldn't believe what they've been through in the past, and they ask for help. I mean, anybody can change. I really believe anybody can accomplish anything that they want if they really set their mind to it and they're willing to do what it takes and just put a little bit of work in over time. It's really the small things that make who we are. It's those small daily habits.
But those small things that you do every day, it compounds.
It does, yeah.
And 2-3 years down the line, you're a completely different person. You have a nice bank account. You get a lot of sleep. You look healthier. You feel happier. But it just compounds over time.
Yeah.
Those little things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, I mean, just look at yourself, for the people out there listening or whatever, think about what it is that you could do this week to just make some small improvement in your life. And it could just be, I'm just going to eat a salad once a day, or I'm going to add in some more vegetables. You could make an improvement in your diet. You can make an improvement in your sleep by not watching TV a couple hours before bed or getting to bed an hour earlier. Or just starting an exercise program with something small. So, I mean, we can all, but if you even will just think about making small little improvements, there's a whole book about that that I probably won't remember the name of it, talking about the effect of
the compound effect.
The compound effect.
That's what I read. Yeah, I've read that. I just read that, bro.
Yeah.
And it just says, that's what I said. That's what he said. Little things end up building a compound,
They're easy to do, but they're easy not to do.
Yeah.
Right?
And it takes 21 days to build a habit.
Yeah.
Positive or negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's little hacks if you want to break patterns. Like, anybody can make a change, and you'll make a change in your mind, and you will be a different person if you just do something that you create a new habit for 3 weeks. Even if it's a meditation habit, if you can sit and just do 10 minutes a day for 3 weeks, your mind will be different by the end of it.
Yeah, well, and that's proven by neurofeedback machines.
Yeah, you can measure
fMRIs. It's actually 30 days, I believe. It has to be over 21. It has to be over 21 for sure.
Yeah.
Your brain changes. That's just a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
There's a lot of studies done on it.
Well, we're changing our brains all the time, but if you're just doing that on autopilot, how is it changing to get better or worse? See, I like to be the guide. I like to at least be changing in a way that I know is positive.
At least you're guiding it.
Yeah, we're always training our minds, whether we're actively and consciously doing that or not.
Yeah, you want to be the captain or the passenger of your own body.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a good way to end this episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, this is fun, man.
James, again, Zion Healing Center. You guys should check it out. At least drop by. Say hi.
Yeah, drop by. I mean, you can make an appointment, come in. It's free. Consult with me. Talk about whatever. I love talking to people. So
good.
If you want to do a brain scan, you want to do a neurofeedback session, I'll give you guys the 66%. I'll give you 2/3 off the price for the.
Right on.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I'm definitely gonna come back and do some more training. Thank you
Okay.
again, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time.